Welcome to Night 7 of St. Philip's virtual VBS, Fruits of the Spirit. Tonight, we'll be talking about faithfulness. Faithfulness means never turning your back on what you believe in. You always trust God, and you're always there to help your friends and family whenever they need you. You do not forget about your responsibilities, trusting God no matter what, and being someone others can trust no matter what. Our Old Testament story is about Abraham and his son Isaac. It comes from Genesis chapter 22, verses 1 through 18. After these things, God tested Abraham's faith. God said to him, "Abraham," and he answered, "Here I am." Then God said, "Take your only son, Isaac, the son you love. Go to the land of Moriah. There, kill him and offer him as a whole burnt offering. Do this on one of the mountains there. I will tell you which one." Early in the morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took Isaac and his 2 servants with him. He cut the wood for the sacrifice. Then they went to the place God had told them to go. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, "Stay here with the donkey. My son and I will go over there and worship. Then we will come back to you." Abraham took the wood for the sacrifice and gave it to his son to carry. Abraham took the knife and the fire. So Abraham and his son went on together. Isaac said to his father Abraham, "Father." Abraham answered, "Yes, my son." Isaac said, "We have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb we will burn as a sacrifice?" Abraham answered, "God will give us the lamb for the sacrifice, my son." So Abraham and his son went on together. They came to the place God had told him about. There, Abraham built an altar. He laid the wood on it. Then he tied his son Isaac, and he laid Isaac on the wood on the altar. Then Abraham took his knife and was about to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven. The angel said, "Abraham, Abraham." Abraham answered, "Yes." The angel said, "Don't kill your son or hurt him in any way. Now I can see that you respect God, and I see that you have not kept your son, your only son, from me." Then Abraham looked up and saw a male sheep. Its horns were caught in a bush. So Abraham went and took the sheep and killed it. He offered it as a whole burnt offering to God. Abraham's son was saved. So Abraham named the place, "The Lord gives." Even today, people say, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be given." The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. The angel said, "The Lord says, you did not keep back your son, your only son, from me. Because you did this, I make you this promise by my own name. I will surely bless you and give you many descendants. They will be as many as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. And they will capture the cities of their enemies. Through your descendants, all the nations on the earth will be blessed. This is because you obeyed me." Abraham is the father of faith. To test his faith, God told Abraham to sacrifice his only son. Without questioning what God had said, Abraham took his son, Isaac, upon the mountain, tied him up, and was about to stab him when God stopped him. Abraham was willing to give up what he loved the most in the world to show God that he loved him more. Abraham was willing to do whatever God said.
So for our Bible verse, we have, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is the gift of God." And that's from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. This next part is from Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. Then the Spirit led Jesus into the desert to be tempted by the devil. Jesus ate nothing for 40 days and nights. After this, he was very hungry. The devil came to Jesus to tempt him. The devil said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these rocks to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written in the scriptures, a person does not live only by eating bread, but a person lives by everything the Lord says." Then the devil led Jesus to the holy city of Jerusalem. He put Jesus on a very high place of the temple. The devil said, "If you are the Son of God, jump off. It is written in the Scriptures. He has put his angels in charge of you. They will catch you with their hands, and you will not hit your foot on a rock." Jesus answered him, It also says in the Scriptures, "Do not test the Lord your God." Then the devil led Jesus to the top of the very high mountain. He showed Jesus all the kingdoms of the world and all the great things that are in those kingdoms. The devil said, "If you will bow down and worship me, I will give you all these things." Jesus said to the devil, "Go away from me, Satan. It is written in the Scriptures, you must worship the Lord your God, serve him only." So the devil left Jesus, and then some angels came to Jesus and helped him. Jesus never lost faith in God's great plan. Jesus was faithful to the prophecies in the Old Testament. He knew that he would have to die to save us from our sins, and he was faithful to do so. He went through so much pain, and he could have stopped it at any time, but Jesus stayed on the cross until it was finished, until he died in our place for our sins. Now for our craft.
3.
And now for our craft. We're going to do faithfulness necklaces. You can use anything that you have around your house. You can use a string. I've used some gimp for some that I've done, or also ribbon. This one is made with foam. You can just take any kind of beads or strings or buttons or whatever you want to use. And what we're going to do is, I've done a couple that have crosses using beads. So I'm going to show y'all how to make one of those. And I'm using some ribbon and some beads here. And to make the cross, you're going to need, for this is about 48 inches of string or ribbon or gimp and 16 beads. So what the first thing you'll do is you're going to string on 6 beads first. And I'm actually using a needle because it works a little quicker. But you can just thread the string or the ribbon or gimp through, however you want to do it. And once you get your 6 beads strung on, you kind of want to center up the ribbon to make sure, because you want to kind of have that at the center of your thing. And once you do, you're going to take your ribbon and you're going to go up through, not the bottom bead. You'll leave one of your beads loose, and then you're going to thread it through the other 5 back up through the top, like so. And actually, I need to center this up just a little more. So yeah, about halfway. And then what you're going to do, and I'll show you how you do it with just your ribbon, you'll thread on 3 beads on this side. And while you're threading your beads, what you want to do is, let's name some of the things that you have to be faithful for, such as this past year, a lot of us had to be faithful with getting our schoolwork done since we were not at school. We're also very faithful with how we attend church and Sunday school. Faithful in doing our chores around the house that Mom and Dad assign us. And think of some other things that you're faithful for. And so once you get the 3 beads on either side put on, then what you'll do is again go back through, not the very last one of the beads, but you'll go through the previous 2 like so. And you want to get these really up close and tight to the original where you started. And it takes a little work at doing this. And again, I'll show you how we do this. So what are some of the things that you are very faithful with what you do in your community, in your family? I know a lot of you probably are very faithful about going to see your grandparents and visit with them. Faithful to your friends. I know a lot of y'all are missing your friends with what we're doing now with the COVID testing, or with the COVID. Okay, and then once you get those 3 done, then what you can do is you're going to thread the remaining 4 beads that you have left through like so. And let's think about some of the stories. Jeremy first talked about Abraham and how he was very faithful. How would you like to have a wish for a son, like Sarah and Abraham did, and then God tells you you have to go and sacrifice him? But Abraham did that and didn't even question what God did, what God's request was, because Abraham had faith. He knew that God would provide for him. And then Jesus, the story that Amanda read, was Jesus' temptation. How would you like to have been out in the desert for 40 days with nothing to eat? Because this was Jesus' way of proving that he was into what God had prepared for him. And once you get those beads done, what I usually do is I just take the ends and go through that top one just to get this all done. Make it a little tighter, like so. Now, as you can tell, I'm not a teacher. I'm an engineer. I can engineer things, but talking through is a little hard. But once you thread this through here, you kind of have got everything locked in for your cross. And then you can you'll just tie a knot at the end here, and you'll have your necklace for it. So I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson on faithfulness. And if you like, post what your faithfulness necklaces look like to the St. Philip's website. It'll be interesting to see what everybody has done. And I hope you enjoy the remainder 2 days of our lessons and have a great day. Thank you.